Funky Jag TV. We are live here at the Planet Comic Con 2017, and we've got all sorts of things happening. There's all sorts of things going on around us, and we are going to go to our first interview here, second interview, third interview, whatever it is, whatever you're watching. Thanks for watching, and I screwed that up again.
I'm Sheiver with
What's up, man?
A&Z Funtime Designs. I'm a freelance writer and photographer, and I'm here with Daryl McDaniels, and I have a few interview questions for him.
Tomorrow, Sunday.
Several different magazines that I write for.
I will. Yes.
When did you decide to get into the artistry of comics?
Well, before music, before hip hop, before rock and roll. I was growing up in Hollis, Queens, New York, a little lower middle class suburb outside of New York City. And I went to Catholic school. I was a great student because I was always reading comic books. So my whole life as a kid was reading and drawing comic books. That's all I did. Buy the comic book, read it, draw. Buy the comic book, read it, draw. Buy the comic book, read it, draw. So comic books as a kid for me did two wonderful things. In this real world, it gave me a self-confidence because I would want to emulate all the super powerful characteristics of my favorite superheroes. It also made me realize that being a nerd and a geek and a straight-A student in a bookworm was kind of cool because Spider-Man, Peter Parker was educated, Tony Stark was educated, Batman was educated, Bruce Banner, all of these guys were smart, so that brought a little calming factor in the traumatic world of growing up as a little kid. But also, comic books set me up to be prepared for when I would get into hip hop. So comic books is my first love. Then music came along, and because of comic books, it allowed me, oh my God, you can tell stories over music? So because all the creativity and ideas and imagination I was getting from comic books allowed me to be so dominant on the microphone as a recording artist. So a couple of years ago, fast forward, I went through one of the roughest times in my life. I was an alcoholic, suicidal, metaphysical, spiritual wreck who wanted to kill himself. And before I was going to jump off the roof, I said, people know the DMC rap guy, but they don't know the little boy Daryl who's just like normal like all the little other kids.
Right.
So I called my mother up and I said, I know my birthday's May 31st, 1964. I need more details about the day I was born so I can share it with the world. So she let me know where I was born, how much I weighed, and what hospital. Hung up the phone. An hour later, she calls back with my father. Now you gotta imagine, I'm an alcoholic, suicidal, metaphysical, spiritual wreck. They go, we have something else to tell you. Okay, shoot. Well, you was a month old when we brought you home and you're adopted, but we love you bye. So I found out that I was adopted at age 35.
Oh my gosh.
So that really pushed me down the dark cavern of depression. But when I went to rehab and stopped drinking, I discovered therapy. And then I discovered the joy of my life. There was something before music that made me not have a care in the world, that allowed me to cope, that allowed me to communicate, that allowed me to relate to people. And it was comic books. And once I found my foundation again, a couple of my friends was like, D, man, you like a comic book wizard. You should do a comic book. So I thought that it would be cool to do this comic book because I think a lot of people thought I was doing music first and now I'm in the comic books, but actually the comic books is the whole power behind this whole DMC thing. So my friend was like, D, you can use a comic book and do everything that you've been doing with your music and even more. And that's how the whole comic book came about. But the comic book is my first and foremost love.
That's fantastic. When you started drawing, what do you think were the tools that you started with that you liked the most, and have you changed anything in your style?
No. Well, the funny thing is when I started with stick figures. The stick figures with the S and the cape on it was Superman, and the stick figures with the horns and the ripples on the cape was Batman. But then I went to tracing paper. And by using the tracing paper over and over and over, eventually I realized I could draw Iron Man without the tracing paper. So my style and the style of the artists that we also incorporate in the book is very much the Marvel. I would say well, no, we're a little flamboyant with it, but the basis of our foundation. I was a comic book reader, drawer from the 70s, so all of those iconic artists from the 70s of DC and Marvel is kind of what we remind people of.
What's the best advice you have for new artists?
The best advice I have for new artists is go use your intuition. Don't follow trends. Don't be a copycat. And you can follow the flavor of the month, but always add your own twist in it. Every piece of work, I don't care if you're a writer, I don't care if you're an artist, I don't care if you're a penciler, I don't care if you're a sculptor, I don't care if you're a cook. Creatively, everybody's an artist who creates. We create every day. Always add your spin to it, because you don't want the 300 million people that love the 300 million things out there. You want the 500 billion that don't even like the 300 million. Those are the people that you will get if you always add your taste, because you might not think, oh, no, I don't want to do what I like to do because nobody's going to relate to it. There's a multitude of people who can relate to what you create.
Do you have any advice for today's youth and society overall?
To today's youth and society overall, number one, sometimes you need to turn off the internet. You need to pick up a book, and also, at every chance given to you possible, you might not think it's cool, but if somebody invites you to a museum, go. If somebody invites you to an opera, go. If somebody invites you to the very thing that you think is so corny, I don't want to go there, you need to go, because there is something, somebody, or some event there just for you. New experiences enhance and change your life.
Tell people how to find out more about you in general, the comic books, the music, everything.
The DMC universe can be found at DMC Makes Comics. That is at DMC Makes Comics Twitter and DMC Makes Comics Instagram. On the music side, my Twitter is at the King DMC, and my Instagram is the King DMC. In June, coming to a speaker, headphone, radio station, streaming site near you, a new song, DMC, and the immortal, incomparable, iconic Joan Jett.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Pleasure.
Nice
Thank you.
to meet you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Alright, go idiot.
Jiggy Jag TV, we are live here at the Planet Comic-Con 2017, and we've got all sorts of things happening. There's all sorts of things going on around us, and we are going to go to our first interview here, second interview, third interview, whatever it is, whatever you're watching. Thanks for watching, and I screwed that up again.